Welcome in, everybody. Just making sure this is streaming on YouTube. It is. Yay. It worked. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Hi, Mandy. Where are the sharks? Welcome in. Mimi's Treasures. Ben Lisa. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, Amber, you're still alive. I haven't seen you in forever. How are you doing, girl? Good to see you guys. Welcome in. Hello, hello. No, it's different. It's different, guys. I'm trying to get used to it. It's more my natural color, which I wanted to do, and I wanted it shorter. And now that it's shorter, I'm kind of like in the state of shock still. Like, do I like it? Do I not? I don't know. Because, it was down to here and now it's up high and then it's kind of curled right now. So I don't know. We will see. We will see if I like it. It looks cute with a headband, so that's a plus. Hi, Aunt Julie. Welcome in. Oh my gosh. Thanks for sharing this stream, everybody. Hello, hello. I forgot to... I'm trying some new things tonight. Some stuff that I learned from other sellers. Don't ask me who I learned it from, because I honestly don't remember. I have really bad memory. Oh, I forgot to load it. Darn it. That's okay. That's okay. I saw this from another seller where they did a QR code like you guys see at the bottom of the screen. And so I went ahead and linked that to my link tree, if you guys are familiar with like link trees. And on that link tree, I have links to like my YouTube. So if you guys want to rewatch this stream, I have it streaming over to my YouTube, so you can find it through that QR code at the bottom of the screen, which I think it's over here, the QR code that's down here. I also have it linked to the Facebook group that I have set up. If you guys are not familiar with the Facebook group that I have created for vintage decor sellers, you can join that and you can have your questions answered in there. It's kind of like a very friendly community where you can ask questions when you're struggling or you're like in the middle of shipping and something's not working and you need help. So I have that linked on that. And like I have my Amazon storefront linked up for like stuff that I use, kind of like my printer labels, like my saran wrap that I use. I guess you should call that stretch wrap. Stuff that I like. I have all kinds of stuff linked up on there. And I saw someone use a QR code, and that just like, I was like, man, that's genius, because that can give you guys access to everything so much easier, instead of me saying go here and then click on this and click on that. It will all just be under that QR code. So if you guys are interested in any of that information, like my YouTube, my TikTok, any of that information, just go ahead and screenshot the QR code, and then you have access to all of that. I pinned this at the bottom as well just now. But I do have a video on YouTube, because I have a YouTube channel and I'm slowly uploading videos on there. But there is a 78-cent shipping video, how to, on my YouTube channel. It's under the short section. It's like, I think it's under 2 minutes. So if you're struggling on how to do the cheaper giveaways, you can definitely see that out on YouTube. So welcome in, everybody. Hello, hello. I will probably repeat that a few more times today, but I thought it was kind of genius with that suggestion. And again, this is like the Facebook group that I was talking about. It's just a vintage community. It's friendly. You can ask all the questions. Thank you, Mandy. No pressure to mod today. Okay. I just want it to be very chill. And if you guys have questions, drop your questions. But I thought we could talk about shipping and packing and like how I do stuff and what I do. Oh my gosh, Mandy, I don't want to hear that. I would be really, really sad. Okay. The other day I went to... Mandy just said she saved herself from a dying cat, which that's really sad. I went to the freaking gas pump the other day, right before I went to estate sales and sourcing, for me to be selling on here. And I looked down at the gas pump and there was a dead bird. I was like, I don't need to see this. And it was not like it was hit and somebody pulled it off their car or something. It looked like a dog got a hold of it. It was just like, why is there not a trash can where you can remove it? It was just crazy. So, welcome in, everybody. Drop your questions that you have. I thought today we could talk about shipping because, like packing a box, if you're new on, selling, you kind of need some tips and tricks on packing boxes. So I thought tonight would be a great night to talk about that. But welcome in, Sin City. Hello, hello. But I thought tonight would be like a great suggestion. Now, how I pack things versus how somebody else packs things may be different, but this is just how I tend to pack boxes. And I just picked up something random in my shop that I'm just going to show you like how I would pack it. Everybody packs things differently, but I pack things for I want to take it to the post office, and if they drop kick it all the way across the football field, I want something to actually make it to my customer safely. I should probably drop this down a little bit more. So this is a straight up crazy piece of glass, different shapes. I thought this would be like a great example of like how I would pack this in a box. Everybody packs things differently. So what I have near me is packing paper. I have bubble wrap, which I use the small bubble wrap. I use stretch wrap. And then I also have a bubble machine that makes bubble for me. So I don't have to buy the bigger bubble as well. And I typically line my boxes with my bubble wrap that my bubble machine makes. So that's all of the things that I'm using. I'm not going to show tape today just because I typically don't use that whenever I am packing a box. If you guys have questions, drop your questions in the chat and I will come back to it after I finish kind of showing this example. So this is a piece of glass. It's just a really beautiful glass butterfly, right? And so it has all of these separate areas that you need to protect, of course, so the tips are going to be very fragile. They can easily break because it is glass. And then this bottom piece. So what I typically do whenever I'm packing items, hi, Easy Vintage Finds, welcome in, is I typically wrap in paper first. Now, not every single item that you possibly will get from me will be wrapped in paper, but I feel like with glass, it kind of gives it a little bit more support because you can add extra padding around the areas that you want to be supported. So I kind of wrap it up in paper, and you can use, several things of paper just to add extra. Thank you so much. I'm still getting used to it. It is shorter because it used to be down here, so it's a big difference, but thank you so much. I'm dropping paper. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. I needed a change. With Texas being so hot, I'm tired of it being on my neck. I wanted it a little bit shorter, a little bit lighter. I like it. It's different. I needed a change. Don't you ever go through where you need a change with your haircut? So, and I went a little bit darker. It's a little sassy. Yeah. I like it with putting one of those cute little headbands in it. It looks pretty cute. It kind of reminds me of like a 50s look. So it's really fun. So I wrapped this up with paper so it has like extra padding, and I just kind of slowly wrapped it around there. This is actually not going to a customer. I'm just showing you guys how I would pack something. And then I'll just get a bunch of bubble wrap here. Where do I get the paper sheets? Yours is on a roll. Rusty Patina. Right now, I just buy my paper because I don't go through that much paper. I buy mine from Walmart. And I get like 220 sheets for like $12. But I want to switch it to a roll. And I'm going to create a thing that I can mount on the wall and I can just pull it off. Kind of like I do with bubble wrap. I just pull it off the wall and rip it and then go from there. I think it would be a lot handier. But do what you like, what you prefer. I just get the stuff at Walmart right now because I don't go through that much paper because I do have my bubble machine, but I used to go through tons of paper. So I'm just going to bubble wrap this really well. And typically what I do is whenever I'm bubble wrapping, I don't add tape or anything. I'm just trying to make sure every corner, you know, like the tips of the wings, because this was a butterfly, is protected. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm trying to watch. Maybe you should mount it. Yes. I saw like the mounts on Amazon and they're crazy stupid expensive. So if you have a handy husband, show them what the mounts look like on Amazon. It's basically like a triangle that has like a little loop in it. And I was thinking about just taking a piece of like a metal bar or a curtain rod and sticking it down on each side and then just running my paper through it. And I think it would be a lot more handy and it won't cost $90. I don't want to spend $90 on a thing to mount it to the wall. I will just make it myself. You know what I mean? We haven't done it yet, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen because it's driving me nuts. Okay, so as you guys seen, I don't use tape when I want to attach my bubble wrap to my piece. I'll build your mount this week so I can show it off. Yes, maybe we should do measurements and stuff like what we use versus like our bubble wrap that we use, so people can be able to recreate it if they have a handy husband or if they're handy themselves. Okay, so I went ahead and bubble wrapped it, and then I take the stretch wrap, which I love using this because I am not, I don't like using tape. Tape is expensive versus how much this is online. I could typically get, I think it's 4 or 5 rolls, I believe, for about $24 to $28 on Amazon. And it's stretch wrap. It's 1,000 feet. And what I do is I just basically wrap it around, and it kind of keeps everything tight and snug against it to keep it all protected. And I like using that because especially if you're selling this to a reseller, they can reuse the bubble wrap. So we're not going through extra bubble wrap. I love being able to reuse things, reuse, repurpose. It's better for the environment, which I love that. I mean, the stretch wrap, not so much, but it's a small amount that you're using and not having to use so much tape, so that's cheaper on your pocketbook. And then I just like grab a box, and like I said, I use this that my bubble machine makes. It's like the best investment. And we typically line our boxes, and then I would put this in here, and then I would take more sheets and I would, if you guys can see, I would like put it around this side and this side, and then I would do also along the top of it and like tuck it in like you're tucking it in for bed. And make sure that thing is very well bubble wrapped, so whenever I seal it up, I don't know if it will work for this one because I just guesstimated what I would be using. I didn't grab a big enough box, but anyways, I would like hold it like I was about to tape it up, and I would shake it, do the dad shake, and make sure you do not hear it wiggle and move, and then you know you did pack it with enough packing material. But I typically line it and wrap it. Now, if you don't have a bubble machine, I would do all of that with paper. That's what I used to do, all with paper. But paper adds up in the weight. That's why I love this investment with a bubble machine. I'm not selling you guys a bubble machine, but I'm just saying it was the best investment because it makes your boxes a lot lighter. I've had customers send me photos of punch-size holes and has the box smashed in. Yes, you pack it for war. What type of bubble machine I have. Yes, you shake it every time. If you hear movement in it, that means you need to go back in there and add more paper, add more bubble, whatever it needs to be, and make sure nothing, especially if you have more than one item or 2 items, you don't want them clanging against each other, because what is that going to happen? If they're moving and doing this, they have the potential to break in shipment, and so you don't want that to happen. You want them to be supported in the box for drop kicking. Okay, if you guys see at the bottom of the screen, if you're just joining in, I have where you can take a screenshot. If you click on it, you can get the image a little bit bigger. Take a screenshot of this, and then you could make your phone like do the scan for the QR code. That will link you to my Linktree. Under my Linktree, let me see if I can get my phone to do it. Okay, on my Linktree, it will take you to here. I have my YouTube channel on the top. I have my, if you're a reseller, I have a Facebook group link where you guys can join the Facebook group. And then under that, I have my Amazon favorites. And if you click on that, I don't know if your view is going to be exactly like that, but I have links to like products that I like. And under there, I think this was the best, most genius idea so you guys can see. But this is the bubble machine that I currently use. It is the JZ Brain. It is a lot cheaper, guys. We paid like $200 plus when I bought mine, and the prices dropped substantially. It's $130. So I feel like it's more reasonable. It's going to save you money. And then all you have to do is buy the rolls, which it can do the pillows like you see here, or it can do the pillows that are these type of bubbles, which are the bigger bubbles that I line it with. And you can get a roll of that for roughly about $38 to $40 typically. And it's 984 square feet. And I do have that linked in under my Amazon as well, so you guys can see like which ones that I prefer. I clicked away. Hold on. Yeah, I have like 2 different ones right here that I have personally purchased with my own money and bought, and I know that it is good. So I kind of link those all together. They go in and out of stock quite often, so you make sure that you buy enough ahead of time so you're not like out. And then I also have the stretch film right here that I like to use. Also linked on my Amazon, and all kinds of other things that, you know, like labels. If you need like labels, I have the label printer. If you do random pulls, yeah, you guys drop any questions that you have in the chat. If you do like random pulls where you're doing like 8 to 11 ounces at the bottom of the screen and running it that way, and you like to label who bought your item, I love this. Used for your blue tape, your masking tape. It holds the bigger rolls of tape, and then this, you just have to grab it and, you know, pull it off, and you can just peel it. So you don't have to necessarily wear like this as a bracelet. I love this. It's probably like a bougie purchase, but you guys, I love that because it just rips it off. It's straight, and you're not getting like weirdo lines, and you don't have to rip off more than you actually need, just a little bit. Hey, Tammin. You guys, I want to call this out because I didn't know that Tammin was going to change her name, but if you guys see Journey Through Time in the chat right now, her name on Whatnot used to be Tammim, Tammim, and she changed her name. So if you guys are familiar with her and she is a seller that you love, just know that she changed her name, guys. I know when you change your name, it kind of throws everybody off, but hopefully that draws attention to everybody. You guys dropped some questions in the chat. That was like super fast. But just ask any questions that you have. I'm going to throw up a giveaway. And I'm also going to pin this, as I always talk about it every show. How do we get to your Amazon list? Oh. If you go to you take a screenshot of where it says scan here, or you might be able to just tell your phone to scan my QR code at the bottom of the screen right here. It will take you to my Linktree, and under my Linktree, it will have a link to my Amazon. Okay. It will have a link to my Amazon, and that just shows like stuff I personally use, that I like, that I have personally bought, and I can say, hey, yes, it is a good product. It's not crappy. I even have like the little black lights that I use, you know, to see if something glows. you know, see if something glows. I have those flashlights on there. Can you talk about how I do sudden death on rate trains? Yes, I can. I can. Let me pull up something real quick. I'm going to pull up one of my random pulls, which I talked about this on my last show. So if you guys missed my last seller support show, it is also on my YouTube, so you guys can rewatch it at any time, which I kind of love that. I'm able to finally stream to YouTube, so you guys can rewatch these videos, which is awesome. Okay, where'd that go? There we go. Oop, not this one. Okay, so if you guys see at the bottom of the screen, it's a random pull, 12 to 15 ounces. So this is anybody that has seen like Vintage Wars or Dollar Holla or any fast-paced shows. I would say like any like 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute shows where you need to, where it's like a competition type show where you want to sell as much as you can in that amount of time. The way I did it in Vintage Wars, and I also did it the other day during Dollar Holla when I had like all this stuff set up for Dollar Holla, I did some random pulls. And so I set it up like this at the bottom of the screen. So I just did like 12 to 15 ounces. So that will kind of cover me for if the items are, you know, like this small, you know, this is probably going to weigh around 10 ounces once bubble wrap and everything is on it with the box. Maybe 10 ounces if I'm lucky. Versus if something goes up a pound, I won't be out of pocket so much money when it goes over a pound. I will probably have to pay like $2 to $3-ish to get it to go over a pound to cover the additional weight if needed. If somebody bought something that weighed like 2 pounds, for example. So I would run it at 12 to 15 ounces so people can buy more money within the 921 range. And whenever you're live and you want to run it, you will go into your shop and you will pin it to the screen, kind of like I did here. And you're going to pretend like you're going to start it before you're even ready. And you're going to click on this. You can change your start bid. Let's say you want to start everything at $5. You can start it at $5. If you want to start it at 10, you could put it in there right there. You can change the amount of time that you want to do. So let's say you want to do 10 seconds. And then this may look different on an iPad or iPhone, okay? This is an Android phone. And then if you want to do sudden death, you can toggle this on so it is sudden death. You guys, I'm not selling anything. I'm just going to click this. But whenever you're ready to start running things, you can run it. As you can see, it is running at the bottom of the screen. It says $5, 10-second sudden death, and that is on. Okay, and if somebody actually bought that, you will have the button that says run next and run next and run next, and that's all you would have to do, and it will automatically number it. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, the first one that got sold will be number 1. The next time you ran it, it will be number 2, number 3, and so on and so forth. So that's basically how I would do it if you're doing like a competition show. And you just want to do random pulls and you don't want to have to worry about weights. You just need to consider like what type of items that you're going to be running and throwing in that show. But I feel like you're not going to be paying as much out of pocket if you run it at 12 to 15 ounces. You just have to cover the ones that go over the pound if they only buy like one single item. Melissa, you won that giveaway. Congratulations. Thank you so much for being here. So Whatnot automatically numbers them. Yes, if it's of the same listing, yes, you just have to make sure that you put the quantity in there as multiples. So if you look at this one that I have listed, my quantity is like 495 or something. Yeah, it says right here. It says my quantity is like 495. So as long as you have a multiple quantity, then yes, it will number it. It will come across on your back end, on your seller hub. It will say like D, whatever you have it labeled. So for me, it would say D, random pull 12 to 15 ounce item, and then it'll say number 1, and then number 2 will be dash number 2. There is a button that also asks if you want them listed individually. I wouldn't do that if you're wanting to do it for a competition. Tamim, I wouldn't do that for a competition. Don't list them out individually, because then what you would have to do is, as you're running things, you would have to go into each individual one. So let's say I want to run this. You guys don't bid. I'm just going to show how this would work. If I wanted to run this one, I would have to go in there and click run to do that one. Don't swipe on that, guys. It's $789. Yeah, you would have to keep going into your shop and clicking it and clicking it. It's easier if you keep it on like the same weight and then click run next. Another way that you could do it if you're doing a competition show is you can do like 10 items that are going to be 8 to 11 ounces, so you know that that's what their weight is, and like group them together on your table. And then once you get done with those, you know you have to go into your shop and change it to the next weight class. And then the next 20 items are going to be 1 pound items, and you can do it that way. And then you're not going to be eating as much shipping. It's going to be more accurate for your customer, but it is also a time thing, especially if it's competition. If you're trying to work on selling more within a certain amount of time. So that's something else that you can do, but you would just have to have those set up in advance. So you can do like 8 to 11 ounce and run 10 of those, you know, for example, and then you can do 12 to 15 ounce for 15 of those, and then, you know, pound plus items at the end. And by the time you get to the end, most of your customers might have already bought something, so their 1 pound items are not going to cost them a full $9.21, you know, versus the other ones. Yeah, too much time. Welcome in, guys. If you guys have any questions, yay, I'm glad I answered your questions. If you guys do have any questions, just drop them in the chat. I'm here to help. So that was a weird noise. So if you do have questions, just drop them. I'm here to answer anything that you may think of, shipping questions, how to load things, how to do a show, giveaways, whatever you want to know, just let me know. I have lots of information. I'm going to pin this back to the bottom of the screen if you guys want links to, thank you. I'm still getting used to it. I think it's cute. It's just a lot shorter. It's a lot shorter than I'm used to, because it's, you know, and it's usually straight, so that's throwing me too. But hey, it's kind of cute like this, so I'll leave it alone for now. Thank you for your compliments, guys. I appreciate it. You guys are quiet tonight. I know there was another support show on earlier today. That's okay. Okay, I do have this Vintage Community Whatnot Brainstorm group out on Facebook, and you guys see that at the bottom of the screen. If you got a screenshot of my QR code, I do have a link directly to the Facebook group where you guys can join it. It has lots of information out there. It has links to, you know, like websites that people use to find boxes, packing material that people use when they run across issues like how do you add additional insurance to a package, like how to do that. There's a whole conversation there. How to do the 78-cent shipping. We talk about sharing like our TikTok pages, other forms of social media, you know, like your Instagram, your Facebook, so we can kind of follow and support each other everywhere, because, you know, it's always, we have to show our stuff on other platforms so we can keep bringing new customers over here to keep shopping with us. So that's always a good thing to do. I'm working on that. I'm working on building my TikTok up a little bit. I'm not the best at it at this point, and I'm also working on my Instagram. It's like a full-time job just posting on the other websites. Um, so that is out there. Thank you, Mandy. Do you have anything that I should talk about? I'm trying to think what people have asked me. I can't think of off the top of my head. I should make you come on and chat with me, but I know you're not feeling good. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm totally going blank. I usually have a lot of questions that I'm answering by now, so I feel really off kilter. One thing I did learn, and I want to post this up. I didn't even think about doing it. I thought I made it, but I guess I didn't post it. So I'm going to create this. I saw another, you got an ear infection. That's no fun. That's no fun at all. You guys, I went to estate sales over the weekend and they were popping. I went 2 hours one way, and then on Sunday I went an hour and a half the other way, sourcing. So I'm like really excited to bring all the new stuff. What is this? Alert. I'm gonna have to retype this later, but I want to show you guys this. I'm just typing it in really quick. Okay, if you guys see at the bottom of my screen, I just created a quality listing. I just added my logo to it at the bottom. And I've seen other sellers doing this because lately with the Whatnot app, I have not been getting alerted when my favorite sellers, such as Wishing I Was Thrifting, when she goes live. I don't get alerts anymore. I don't know what it is with the Whatnot app. I have shows bookmarked. I have alerts set. I have my notifications on, but I'm not getting alerted of shows that I want to watch. So I've been seeing other sellers do this, and I think it is absolutely genius. Is they created this little thumbnail that you guys see at the bottom, where you just have to go into the shop itself, which I don't think I could show it offhand, but you go into the auction tab and you can click the alert button just like this. And whenever you have that alerted, then the seller can basically load that into every single show that they have. And when they hit the button to go live, they can pin this button. They can pin it kind of like I just took it off the screen. They can pin it to the bottom, and it will alert every single person that hit the alert button right here. It will send out that notification saying, hey, I'm going live. Hey, I'm live. Hey, I'm live. I also seen if you are a seller that does live shopping, and I think this is absolutely genius, guys. Let's say you do a lot of live sales where you're like doing scan shows at a thrift store or antique shops, and you go there like on a weekly basis, and you always have people that only want to shop in purses, or they only want to look at knickknacks. Then I started seeing those sellers create little things like this that says, alert me when you're at the knickknack department, alert me when I'm at the purse department. And then so whenever they get over to that area during that show, all they have to do is pin it, and then all those customers that have that alerted, they are notified. They are notified when they arrive to that show. And so then they don't have to remember to tag them in the show to get them to come back in to come shopping with you, that they can just repin it at the bottom just like that. Just by repinning it, your people should be notified within like 5-10 minutes. It's usually about 5 minutes, I believe. And I think that is absolutely genius. It is so smart, especially since the alerts are not working. I swear I used to get the sound alert when I got a DM, but now I don't. I've checked every setting. I usually have my phone on mute. So as far as I'm aware, I don't get notifications for messages. I know they still pop up on my screen, but I never heard the sound. And then now that we're getting the messages sent over into like message requests, I'm noticing I'm missing those because I didn't even know that was there. And usually that's spam messages, but if you guys are not aware, if you go down in the bottom of your app and click on, not activity, you click on home and then you go into your messages. Yes, I have tons of messages, but if you go on, where is it? The three dashes, at least on my phone, it's the three dashes, and then it says message requests at the bottom, then it will pop up message requests over here. It's usually lately it's been spam and also people sending me their shows that I don't really look at anyways. But you also have to check that, but I don't know what other notification settings that there are for messages because that all should be turned on. There's a notification settings and it says sellers, shows I followed, shows I bookmarked, recommended shows, chats, chat notification setting. Oh, there is this. Okay, so I went to this screen, 5 Anchors. I went to this screen, and then there is a button that says notification settings. And so I clicked on that, and then there's one that says for chats. And I click on that, and it says you can notify for everyone, no one, or following only. You might want to check that. I don't know about sounds. Preferences. There's nothing about sounds that I know of. I don't know. They keep changing that. They keep changing things. I know there's been spam messages coming through on the Whatnot messages. You guys just know that Whatnot will not personally message you on the Whatnot app. They will only email you. And then if they do email you and it looks fishy, look at where the email is coming from, because typically it'll come from like support@whatnot.zendesk.com. And if it's not from that, then I don't think that would be legit. So you guys just be careful out there. Spammers and scammers are wild lately, and it's only going to get worse because we are in 4th quarter. So definitely watch yourselves and be careful. That would have to be on phone settings. You think that's a phone setting for that app? Now I'm going to look. Notifications allowed. I guess there's a sound and vibration setting. I have an Android, so iPhone would be different, but there is a sound and notifications setting within your phone. Maybe that would be what you need to check. Possibly. I don't know. Welcome in, everybody. If you're just joining, just drop any requests that you have. Typically my devices are muted, so I just have everything pop up on my screen, and then at the end of the day I go through and check everything and see what I missed, because life is lifing and I can't read everything all the time. So I kind of just leave everything on my screen and then I swipe it off as I check things through. Sorry, Jims and I are Androids. I have an iPad, but I'm currently live on it, so I can't really like click away to do the checking to see. But 5 Anchors, after the show, I'm on an iPad. I will check to see if there's any different settings on my iPad, and I'll see if I see anything different than what I just said. I will message you, but I don't know. I don't know if it's much different. So, let's see. Mandy said earlier, top three tips that I would give a Whatnot seller. Number one, do it scared. Your first show is 90% of the time it's not going to be perfect. Everybody's first show is not perfect. You're learning the app, you're learning the buttons, you're learning shipping, you're learning how to do everything for the first time, because you don't get to know all of this stuff until you actually go in hands on, click the buttons, touch the things to learn everything. So just know it's not going to be perfect. If you sell one thing on your first show, then that's freaking amazing. If you sell 50 things on your first show, that's amazing, but be prepared. Packing is in 2 days, so you better get busy once you end your show. So just make sure that you only sell what you feel like you can handle. In shipping, I believe my first show, I sold like 5 or 6 things. I was ecstatic about it. I was like, yay, that gives me some hands-on experience to go into the back end and figure out shipping. And I don't have to worry about, screwing up shipping for many people. And I learned a lot of things that first round, which everybody does your first round. Number 2 that I would say, before you do your first live, make sure you're happy with your username. You want to make sure you want to think about it as a business. If you're going to do this as a business and not a hobby, make sure you're happy with your username, and that you can take that username that you have on Whatnot, you can take it to other social media apps like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the things, just so you can do all of that. Because once you start building and getting a customer base, if you change it later, I feel like it's harder for people to remember you. So try to keep your name all the same, your images the same, so they know who you are. Yeah, I would definitely focus on your brand. Start it off right, and just figure out your name so you're not making a lot of changes all the time. Number 3, oh man. Do it scared, build your brand. Yeah, pick your right name. Ask the questions. I think it's smart to ask the questions. First time seller, just ask the questions. If you don't know something, find another seller, such as myself, wishing I was thrifting. Somebody that you watch, that you enjoy, message them and say, hey, I'm a first time seller. Ask the questions that you need to know. Somebody's going to be more than willing to answer and help you feel better about what your scenario is. I mean, I just did that yesterday, guys. I just asked, a bigger seller, like how she approached to do this and that, because I haven't went there before, and I wanted somebody that's done this business for quite some time. I reached out and I just asked. I was like, if I need to pay to chat with you for 30 minutes, I will do that, because I need some more directive of where I'm going. I have goals in my business that I want to do, and I want to work that way. And you know what? She was more than helpful to answer my question, and it was simple as that. And I'm like, okay, I'm on the right page. I probably know what I'm doing, but I second guess myself, and that is completely okay. I saw a question come out. That's what I struggle with. I've been buying for quite some time, and I feel like you're in that spot. You just need to do it. Do it scared. I did my first live and I was absolutely scared, but I did it because I was like, you know what? I need to venture out. If you guys don't know, oh my gosh, we got a raid. Propast, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. How was your show? You guys, thank you so much. We're just having a seller support. Let me get back into my phone so I can drop a giveaway in honor of our raid. Everybody go give them a follow. Tell me about your show. I hope it was great. If you guys have any questions about, sellers, even buyers, if you guys have questions as a buyer, ask me. I'm here. I kind of went through kind of a mini scenarios. I haven't been through everything, but I probably can give you advice if you're running to any scenarios. But you guys hop into the giveaway. I appreciate you. We're just chatting. Okay, as a first time seller, I will tell you my background was I have like a local booth and I refinished furniture, and that's what I was known for. And it was really big in like 2019, 2020. It slowed down a lot because we all know the C word, COVID, and it just took a toll on our business. But I was still able to sell paint, and people can still paint their stuff while they were at home. And I got into the crafting business. And then after that, furniture business was not doing that so great, and I started working on, filling my booth with other things than just paint and refinishing furniture because that was used to take up a lot of my time. But I still had it decorated up with all my upcycles and antiques and vintage decor and stuff like that. And that's how I came across Whatnot. And I thought at first, oh my gosh, I love Whatnot. That will give me different things that I can bring to my booth, and I can fill it up with different things than I can find locally. I thought it was fabulous. And then it got to the point of, okay, I have a lot that's in my booth. Free train. Oh, Thrifting with MJ, thank you for calling him out. I appreciate it. So I was just really excited that about Whatnot, and then I was like, you know what, I have a lot of stuff from my booth that isn't moving. I'd rather to move stuff around because keeping interest in your booth is key. So then I started selling. I was like, I got to get rid of this stuff. I started with a box of stuff that I had, and I threw it on the app. It was upcycles, it was vintage and antique decor, stuff like that. And I did my first show. And like I said, I think I sold like 5 or 6 items. It was like $90. I was absolutely ecstatic, and I kind of just took off from there. And then what I've done is every show since then, I'm like, okay, what can I do better than what I did on the next show? So like my second show, I was like, I just want to sell. Let's see if I can double my money or double the amount of items sold. And I kept making myself goals as I go from there. And another big goal as a seller is getting to your 1,000 sales, because then you're going to get instant payout, which is awesome. So you're not having to wait like over a week for your money, because you're out of the product, out of your money until the item gets delivered as a seller. You guys hop into the giveaway. It's absolutely free. Hop in there. It's in honor of our raid of PromFest. I appreciate the raid, you guys. I appreciate it. We have like 2 minutes left on that giveaway. What was I saying? But anyways, every single time I just worked onto my goals, and 1,000 sales, 1,000 followers, and then I keep working up. So like right now I'm working to see if I can get to 10,000 followers, and I would really like to, I don't know if I can do it, but it would be awesome to see if I can get to 6,000 sales by the end of the year. But I'm also working full time. You guys, I've been doing this working full time, doing this on the side. I've been working my butt off, and I'm really trying to push to do this full time. I just put myself out there to try to start working with some different estate sale companies recently. So I want to see how that works out. I'm trying to dip my toe in everything to see what works out, where I can go full time, because I don't want to always be sourcing for stuff. Now, mind you, I love sourcing. Who doesn't love shopping? I love shopping, but I also just want to take you guys to my sources and see what items I can find, because you guys, there's incredible pieces out there. Incredible pieces. Did I miss any questions? I'm going back and looking. Jolene, I just saw your comment. Thank you so much for your comment. I appreciate you. But you guys, you just gotta, sourcing is your favorite part of this. Yeah, that's my favorite part. You guys, this weekend I found so much copper, so many copper pieces. I found some horse items and paintings, and I know that playing cards is big, and I found playing cards, and it's just so much fun going into estate sales and seeing how people lived and how they decorated their house. I'm so nosy. I'm just like, why did they build their house this way? It makes no sense. And then other places, it's like, wow, I didn't know this house would have a basement. Because in Texas, I live in Texas, guys. You rarely see basements here. You rarely see base. Oh my gosh, I forgot to walk in a basement yesterday. Dang it. I was thinking to myself, you never see basements in Texas. I gotta make sure I go check that out because it's very rare here because of how we have limestone and everything. So it's just crazy. If you see one, I go looking and just seeing how people decorate. And I love sourcing. It's just so much fun. And being able to display it. I like being able to, because I started with like a hutch, my hutch that was in my kitchen. And then now I'm out here in my shed, and I love decorating the shelves up and making them pretty so people can kind of picture how it could look in their home and decorated and placed certain ways. I really enjoy that aspect. It's kind of like your interior decorator while also selling your product. It's lots of fun. So, let's see. Another big thing that worries a lot of new sellers, and I know it worried me at the beginning, is shipping. Shipping is like, it seems like the evil person, person sitting on your shoulder. You're like, do I have to pack everything in a box? Because it seems like everything I get comes in a box. No, you don't have to pack everything in a box. You can pack it in a bubble mailer. You can pack it in a poly mailer. If you guys buy clothes on here, you will know it does come in poly mailers. You can ship in bubble mailers. So this would just be considered like ground shipping, or sometimes you can put it in a priority box. You can use brown boxes. If you see at the bottom of my screen, I did create a shipping guide, and I typed this up because my boyfriend Patrick, he helps me with shipping, and shipping on Whatnot is a little bit confusing just because 0 ounces up to 15 ounces is ground, and then 1 to 5 pounds is priority. And then over 5 pounds is typically ground again, which means it has to be a brown box. And then the exception to the rule is a flat rate box that says flat rate on it. And there's different boxes that says flat rate. And those can go up to 70 pounds. And getting him to understand all of that was just mind-boggling. I'll tell you guys, it took me like 6 months to figure out shipping. It's just like, it doesn't make sense until it makes sense, if you're catching what I'm talking about. It's really complicated, so I wrote it down into a shipping guide. It's just 1 page. You guys can buy it. I will print it out. It's in color. I show you examples of what each kind of label looks like what a priority label looks like, a ground label, and then what a flat rate label looks like, what the differences are, and I kind of highlight it. I also have pictures of kind of what the boxes look like and what it shows, that it says mailing box if it's priority mailing versus a flat rate, and I have all of that information wrote down in the shipping guide. I sold a lot of these already. That's crazy. I started with 100. I just put 100 in there for giggles. The $1 is just paying for my ink, guys. Otherwise, I'm not really making anything. I'm just covering my ink. I'm doing this for help, and I can't send it to you for free. So $1 is the best I can do there. But if you guys are interested, that is out there. It is fantabulous. And then somebody messaged me the other day, if you guys see these in my Buy It Now. I feel weird about doing this, but somebody asked me, so I will offer it. So I just pinned 2 different ones. I have 30-minute private coaching session, or I have a 1 hour. And if you want more one-on-one, oh, Nancy, this is the first time I showed everybody. I just got it done, and this is actually my first show, just showing people. I didn't say anything about it. I actually texted Mandy wishing I was thrifting before the live, and I was like, I did a thing. I don't know if I like it. It's a big change, but I'm going with it. I needed a change. It's always good to have change, right? But if anybody's new, I just want to throw this out there. I do offer coaching sessions. Most of it is just to cover my taxes, otherwise just a little bit for my time, and it'll be a private session on Whatnot, or if you aren't signed up to be a seller just yet, we could probably do it on Facebook, like a Facebook video call, and we can chat that way. And I can answer any questions that you have, like how to set up a listing, which I kind of do that already on these lives, all the way down to, how to box up something, which I kind of just showed, like how to do a packing box. Whatever questions that you may have. I know there's a lot of concerns about like what you can and can't do, so that is out there. I just want to mention that. I'm going to pin this back on the screen. Is there any questions that I might have missed? You guys drop any questions that you have. I'm here. I love talking with y'all. Everybody is so quiet. Talk About It Boutique. I'm sorry. Talk About It Boutique. $9.21 max shipping. Basically, how do I explain it the best way? The way that I would do it. Oh my gosh. I did. Why is it not letting me click on your face? There we go. It's not your face, your thing. Yes, it's new. What do you think? Be honest. You guys can tell me it's ugly, it's hideous. I don't know what to think about it. You guys, if you're not following Sunset Swamp Market, please do. She's an amazing seller on here. She's very informative. I texted her the other day. I'm like, I need your feedback. I need your feedback of how to do this. I'm overthinking it. Calm me down. She is a great sweetheart for helping me talk through things. And I did message Michelle, by the way, Clarice. Did message Michelle and she gave me her feedback too. Thank you guys. I wasn't asking for comments on that. I'm getting used to it. A big change. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Michelle responded to me, so I'm excited. What was I saying? I know I was answering a question. I got sidetracked. Max $9.21 shipping. Okay, max $9.21 shipping. Sunset Swamp Market does this a lot, guys, but how I would do it may be different than how she would do it, so you might want to catch Sunset Swamp Market's seller support show as well. But when I do max $9.21 shipping is I go into my show, and actually let me go into a show so I can show you what I'm talking about. I go into my show and I click the 3 dots and I go down to edit show so I can go in and edit all the settings. I go into shipping. And this is how I usually set it up. Is I turn on the toggle for flat rate mail so I can do the 78-cent shipping on giveaways, and then 1 to 5 pounds I have that as priority, and then over 5 pounds I set it as flat rate. Okay, let me explain why I set it up that way, and I'm sure this is why Sunset does that as well. Okay, so let's say you have your show and you set it up as 1 to 5 pounds priority and then over 5 pounds as flat rate. Remember how flat rate you can go up to 70 pounds on a box, as long as if it fits, it ships in one of those boxes, which means $9.21 up to 70 pounds. So let's say you're doing your show and you're live for an hour and you're selling like a mad woman or a madman, whatever. And you have one customer that buys 20 items and you sold a lot of minis. So let's say, like salt cellars. No, I don't need to lose my marbles. Not today. I'm just grabbing a few things like little birds and stuff like that. Those 20 items potentially could fit all in a flat rate box. And whenever you get back on the back end side of your seller hub, it will say this customer bought 156 ounces worth of items. And if you don't have that set on flat rate, then Whatnot would have automatically took the shipping out of your profit immediately, and you cannot get that back. But if you have it set as flat rate, then you have up to 70 pounds leeway. And if it can fit in a flat rate, then you don't have to pay that additional shipping for a box when you can fit it in a 921 flat rate box. Now, if you can't, then you make that decision yourself. Is it cheaper to do a second label to fit all your customers' items into 2 boxes? Or is it cheaper for you to fit it all in a bigger box? Does that make sense? So you will have the ultimate choosing where you're spending your money so you can keep the profit in your pocket. So if they bought 60 items that won't fit in one flat rate box, you can unbundle. Yes. And you can put it in multiple flat rate boxes. Yes. Yeah. But what you also need to think about is if they bought 60 items and you know that each time you do an unbundle for a new label, it'll be $9.21. But you might want to check to see if you could put it in a bigger box, if it would be cheaper. So yeah, you just got to make your decision to see what would be wiser for your pocketbook. Because sometimes I've done it, and just putting it in a bigger box to make all the items fit was $5 cheaper. It only cost me $5 versus $9.21 for a new label. So you just gotta look at it on the back end. What is cheaper for your pocketbook? But that's the way to set it up. The only time that I do max shipping, Sunset doesn't do this. She does crazy shipping shows, and I tell her, what the hell are you doing? Is this going to cost you? When I do max shipping shows, it's usually smaller things. So like mini shows, ephemera shows, cards, smaller items. I would not sell big things. I have done a few max shipping shows with like a 1-hour braid train. I'm controlling what can be purchased. I know what I'm putting in my train, like the sizes of my items, and I'm loading like 50 items, and I'm just making a judgment call. Okay, I have like 4 big items. Let's hope to God that's not all going to go to one seller or one buyer, or I hope it gets sped up a lot. So if it does go all one buyer, I'll be okay with spending a little bit more in shipping. No big deal. And then you also have to consider what is in your bin as well. Just remember that whatever you put in your bin, if you preload it in your bin that says that it is a single ship item, and you have your settings set up as what I just showed you, a single ship item will immediately take $9.21 out because it will ship the way you set that item up. So just make sure if you're doing a max $9.21 show on shipping, that you make sure that you don't have those single ship items in your buy it now. Otherwise, just know it will be taken out of your profit immediately. So just a heads up on that one as well. Thank you, Becky. I appreciate you. This is the first night I showed it. I'm getting lots of compliments. So I appreciate it. I know it's a big change. I went from like down here to here, and it's darker. Oh my gosh, Shayna, hi. Welcome in, guys. I forgot who asked the question. Talk About It Boutique. Did that answer your question about the $9.21 shipping? If not, ask me more questions. I want you to get clarification. But that's the best way to handle it. That's the way I would handle it. I would control what items you are selling during your show, to make sure that you're not going to be eating a ton of shipping, because it's very easy to do it. And that's why I always say, if you are a brand new seller on the app, do not think about doing $9.21 shipping until you understand shipping. Okay? Because otherwise you can eat your butt in shipping, and it would be very costly. Very costly. Because I've seen boxes, where I have to pay $40, $50 in shipping. I've seen that. Wishing I was thrifting. She had one that went to an overseas buyer, did a max shipping. You guys, overseas buyer on a max shipping show, if you max it out, that customer's not paying about it. The seller will have to pay that overage if you misweigh it. And yeah, she had, what was this? I don't know if she's still in here. I think it was like $60 to ship it overseas, which I have no idea what that would be now with tariffs and all of that. So yeah, we eat a lot of money shipping, but you're volume based. Yes. Yeah, you sell a heck of a lot more than I do, but I also work full time right now, so I can't do volume. So, yes. Yes and no. Thank you. I'll definitely have to call Sunset. Oh, if you have more questions, yeah, message her or message me. Just let me know. I mean, I could try to explain it more. Sometimes you just got to get down in the nitty gritty. But the key is setting it up like this so you're not eating shipping. Is using flat rate over 5 pounds. You don't like reduced shipping for your shelf shows. I think you're crazy for doing reduced shipping in your antique sales shows. I think you could make more money if you don't do that. Because I remember that one showroom, somebody was getting mad that you charged like $7 to ship a Beanie Baby. You never select flat rate. Shayna, you didn't know that? You didn't know that, Shayna. Really? Yeah. The reason that if you're doing a flat rate show, max of $9.21 shipping, if you do flat rate over 5 pounds, that controls Whatnot from not taking your profits immediately. So let's say your customer buys like 10 things from you, and on the seller hub it says that it's 160 ounces to ship those items. If you can fit all of those items in a flat rate box, then you can ship it, and Whatnot wouldn't have charged you for 160 ounces because you know that's above 80. That would be another $9.21 that they would have took from you. If you could fit that all in one flat rate box, you just saved yourself $9.21. Does that make sense? Because you can go up to 70 pounds if it fits, it ships. It is better, yes, because you're controlling when you pay additional shipping overages versus if you want to put it in a different box. Hi, Cherished Echoes, Lisa. You changed your name again? Yes. Hi. Yes, does that make sense, Shayna? Because if you can get it all in one flat rate box, like a large flat rate box, and you can fit it in there, tape it shut, and it's going to ship, then it's only going to cost your what your customer paid of $9.21 versus you paying for another label to put it, you know, how they want Whatnot to do it. And they would have already took the money from you, so then there would be 2 labels. So if you're doing a max shipping show, make sure you turn on flat rate for over 5 pounds, because then you can decide if you want to put it in a bigger box. You can enter the dimensions and the weight to see if it's cheaper to ship it that way, or to unbundle it, pay for $9.21 separate label to send, unbundle it and send it in 2 different boxes or 3 different boxes, whatever it may be. It's just easier to play with. Save your money. Keep your profit. Oh my gosh. So, Cherished Echoes, Lisa, why'd you change your name again? And are you sticking with this one? It's more you. I love it. Yes. Where'd you get the name from? Tell us about it. Cherished Echoes. Tell us about your name. And when's your first show? I'm calling you out. I've been waiting for you to have your first show. You always use flat rate for max shipping, but never on regular show with big items. You use... Oh, Shayna, if you're doing max shipping show where you're doing like max $9.21, then yes, use flat rate. But if you're doing like a regular show where you're not maxing out shipping, you're just doing where your customer pays all the shipping, then yes, I do priority 1 to 5 pounds and ground for over 5. So I still leave it. So like a regular show that your customer pays all shipping, I leave it like this. Okay, where you have the toggle and then priority and then ground. And then if I'm doing max shipping, I just change the bottom one to flat rate. That's the only difference that I do. Otherwise, I don't mess with anything. So many leases, it will set you apart. Yes, yes, definitely. A Bible versus, and my grandma who ran an antique store. Oh, how special. What was her, was that her antique store name? Echoes? Do you do a giveaway follower? I prefer doing follower giveaways just because I look at the money that I spend on a giveaway as kind of like marketing money. And so, like, if I get a raid or I'm doing like a raid train, I want to try to snag those potential buyers to follow me. So those are more potential people that can come back and watch my shows. So I just look at it as marketing money. I don't like doing buyers giveaways just because the few times that I've done buyers giveaways, a non-buyer has won the awesome item that I was giving away as the giveaway. I still sent it like I'm supposed to, but I'm just like, that's just dumb because I couldn't really say thank you to my customers like I wanted to. So I just don't tend to do buyers giveaways anymore because somebody can fill out a form. Where are good sources for box and bubble wrap? Boxes, you can order free priority boxes from USPS.com. They are free. You can get mailing and flat rate boxes. But if you need brown boxes, I get those. You can get them from Dollar General, grocery stores. Think about schools. My boyfriend works for the city, so he gets a lot of the boxes for us. So he gets them from schools, nursing homes, churches, food banks, grocery stores, Dollar Generals. That's where I get a lot of our boxes for free. I don't like paying for boxes. Sometimes I do have to buy the smaller brown boxes just because it's really hard to get the tiny boxes when I do small shows and I just need to ship something tiny. So I sometimes order those. And then bubble wrap, I order off of Amazon. I can get like 700 feet for $28, I believe. Has anyone else been having issues with the 73-cent shipping envelopes not arriving? I've had 15 messages in the last few weeks. Shayna, yes. You just have to tell them those can take up to 2 to 3 weeks to arrive because it's legit snail mail. I've had one review about a giveaway not arriving. And I told them I sent it, and I sent another one. I guess they never got it, even after I verified their address. Verizon has clean brown boxes. Well, I bet they have small ones too. That's so smart. Most cost-effective way to do giveaways. That is the 78-cent shipping, which is a plain white envelope. Like I was saying, those can get lost in the mail. You have to mail those in a flat white envelope like a card. That's why you see a lot of people selling or giving away stickers or ephemera or gift cards, stuff like that, that is flat that you can mail. But that only costs 78 cents. And if you guys go to my YouTube channel, I have a video of how to set that up. If you guys look at the bottom of the screen, it's Gems and Joy on YouTube. This might sound silly, but you have a great tape runner. This, you talking about this right here? I got your shipping guide today. Oh, was that helpful? A little bit of this and that. If not, let me know if I need to add anything. You're getting your seller's permit. I'm in California. Your first show should be about 2 or 3 weeks. Awesome. Your seller's permit, I'm guessing that's like your tax ID. Uline for boxes. There's also Zorro for boxes as well, guys. That's another good one. Amazon. It just depends on what kind of boxes you guys are looking for. Walmart has boxes. Buy them online. They're cheaper. Oh, you literally just opened. Awesome. Well, if you have questions about that, let me know. If you have any questions or I need to clarify anything, just let me know. Okay. In the last month, I had to send Whatnot a message with screenshots saying you got them. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Okay, if you guys see on my screen right here, I did a where you can do a screenshot so you can get the QR code. The QR code will link you to my link tree. Okay. So if I tell it to go to my link tree, which I just told it to open it, it will look like this. I have a link to my YouTube channel. On YouTube, you guys can re-watch this whole stream of me talking today. And I have other live streams out there where I'm doing seller support, so you can re-watch those. I have my Facebook reseller group that I have out there as well, where it's just other sellers on Whatnot in the vintage category. There's tips and tricks, links to information. There's all kinds of good information. If you have questions, you can get help out there. But there's a link to that right there. I also have a link to my Amazon, like my Amazon favorites. So like my stretch wrap that I use, my bubble wrap, my bubble machine, all the stuff that I have personally spent my own money on and purchased, and I know that I like it. It is out there linked as well. But those are like the top 3 things. So if you guys want to just take a screenshot of that QR code, that will give you links to all of that information. And the 78-cent shipping is on my YouTube, and that would be the easiest way for you guys to find my YouTube channel. What process in your reselling? If you refine it, if you have heart-centered soul, I'm not understanding your question. What process in your reselling business, if you refine it, it can get you back most of the time? I'm not understanding your question. Sorry. I might be reading it wrong. Yes, the QR code, I just came up with that, and I feel like it is very helpful for everybody to find links, because usually I'm just like, take a screenshot so you can look this up and look that up. This will take you to my link tree and you can have all the links, and I think that is just very helpful. What is my biggest time-saving tactic? If you preload your shows, which I do recommend as a first-time seller, is preloading, because nobody knows you. Nobody knows what kind of items that you are going to be selling. Preloading your shows is the best thing that you can do for your business, because if a new buyer comes into your show, they can go through and see what kind of items you have. So if you love cottage core and that's the style that you're going to be bringing to the app, then you're going to attract those people, and those people are going to stay in your show and watch. If you are somebody that collects like MCM or kitschy and you have all of that loaded, people are going to know what you have, and then they're going to be like, oh my God, I want this and that and this. I'm going to stay in the show and I'm going to wait to bid on that, or I'm going to ask to, for them to show it so I can bid on it. That is the best thing. So if you are preloading, when I first started, preloading took me freaking forever, guys. It takes forever. You have to take a picture of the item. You have to weigh the item. You have to upload it and type all the information in. You have to do it one by one by one. Look into CSV. CSV. Go into Google, and I can't think of her name right now. She does videos on this. I have talked about it too. I believe it's every Friday that she does one, so you most likely can get the answers quicker from her than me. But CSV file, if you look that up on that, you can, basically it's an Excel spreadsheet where you type in what category you want to load items in. You can load up like 50 items. Thank you, Crystal's Vintage Collection. She does it every Friday. Thank you, guys. Thank you. But basically, you type in, and now you want that word. You can type everything in. You can load up like 50 items at a time if you wanted to, like all the items for one single show. Once you get it all typed in, you can upload it to the page, and then all of that can be put into your show. And it's just like that. It's so much faster, in my opinion, because you can be working on it over time. You could probably upload 100 if you wanted to, all at one time into your show. I didn't mean to type that. I was trying to look her up. But if you guys follow Crystal's vintage collection, she typically does on Fridays the CSV talk, and she shows like how to do it, how it works, and it's so informative. And I love it. I love it. It is very helpful, guys. It is a time saver for sure. Another thing that if you're doing random pulls, let's say you're a season seller, random pulls, keep one of these around for your tape so you can peel it off and label your items as they're sold, so you're not rewatching your stream to figure out who got what item, where that item is. If you go ahead and sell the item, stop and write it down who won it and tag it and label it. That is going to save you so much time. You know, if you're out in the wild, Clarice, you know, it's probably easier to have this on your wrist versus in a dispenser. But I like this because I only have to peel off just a little bit, and I wouldn't have to be wasting so much tape, because sometimes it gets stuck or you lose the end of it and you can't find it. And I love this. And you can put the whatever, you know, I'm just using this. This is from the Dollar Tree, you guys. $1.25 or whatever it is now for this, instead of like $3 or whatever that it is at Walmart. It's so much cheaper. And so I just buy that and I use that to label my stuff. And I don't have to look for where the end is. It's heavy, yes, and it has the padding on the bottom, the foam, so it protects your table. And yeah, it's good. It was only like $8. It is in my Amazon thing, so if you guys scan my QR code for the link, my Amazon stuff is out there and it should be pinned. It's like $8. Yeah. Aw, cheer. Oh my gosh, Lisa, you're so sweet. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. At this point, Lisa, you're going to be a pro by the time you start. The rest is horrible. Yeah. And you know who I got this idea from? This is not my idea. I did not learn about this from myself. I'm not that genius. I saw Unicorn Dust Designs have this, and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? That is so genius. I need that. And then, did you guys know that they make this version, but bigger, for the clear tape? So the clear tape for packaging tape, you can get one of these for clear packaging tape. So like you're packing a box and you just need a little piece of tape, you can just pull it off like a, you know, regular dispenser for the clear, you know, 3-inch wide ones. They do have that as well on Amazon. So if you use a lot of, you know, short pieces of tape and you just need to grab it, they do make one for the packaging tape as well, just like this. So that is awesome. So, you know, if it's something that you use all the time, and you guys remember, your supplies for your business is a write-off. It is a write-off for your business. So if you buy a bubble machine for your business, you buy this for your business, buy tape for your business, all of that is write-offs. You know, if you buy a flashlight, so when you're out in the wild, you can see if stuff glows, that's a write-off. Your packing materials, it's a write-off. So just remember that. So if it makes your life easier, it's well worth the money. Well worth the money. Just keep your receipts. So you've never seen the masking tape and Dollar Tree. It's usually in the, you know, where they have like the tools and paintbrushes and stuff like that. It's usually in that area, if that helps. Bye, Lisa. You have a good night. I appreciate you. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome in. Hello. Yes, perfect. Yes. It is cheaper. It is cheaper. I buy them there because it's like $1.25 for the masking tape. because I swear at Walmart they're like $3 or close to $3. So it's like you can get two of these for the price of one. Now, not everything at Dollar Tree is cheaper, but you know, certain things are. You just gotta shop smart, right? Shop smart. Like I wouldn't buy Post-it notes or pins there, but masking tape works. It's good. I'll buy paintbrushes and thank you notes and greenery sometimes, even though that's gone up. You just did your first show. Awesome. Deb Gary, yes, I'm in the state of Texas, and I got told that if you sell anything as a business, even if it's just a hobby, you need to have a tax ID. So yes, you need to have a tax ID. And Whatnot does remit your taxes to your state, and then all you have to do is verify. This is state taxes. This is just state taxes. Like you make a sales tax, you have to remit that to the state. But just remember, all those sales that you're making and the taxes that Whatnot is collecting, it's going to your county to take care of your roads, take care of your schools and stuff like that. So it's a good thing. But I would sign up for it. But you know what? Another benefit of having a tax ID, guys, is you can buy wholesale with it. You can buy wholesale. So you can buy boxes wholesale, tape wholesale, think bigger, you know. If you need to do some bigger purchases, you can look into, do I get a discount for being wholesale? It's kind of crazy to say, but you know, we are all small business owners, and you're eventually going to have your own workspace, and something happens, something leaks, and you need to go to Home Depot and, you know, get some fixing done. You can use that tax ID to get an exemption on your purchase, because that is repairs for your business. If you purchase something on Whatnot, you can get tax free on that because you have a tax ID. You just have to report that to Whatnot, so they don't charge you tax on your purchases if you're going to be using it for resale, or buying it for your business. So just remember that there's benefits. Like, it sucks in some points, but other ways it does help you. You can buy it wholesale. You can get, you don't have to pay tax on it. So it's good to know. Yes, good to know. So let's say you have a tax ID number and you are a vintage decor seller. You make vignettes because you're the queen of vignettes, and you always need greenery. You hop over to the Hobby Lobby and go get yourself some greenery. Well, when you're in the checkout line, you give them your tax ID number and they can not charge you tax on it because you're reselling it. You don't need to pay taxes on stuff that you're reselling because it's going to be charged to your customer. Does that make sense? I have to hydrate. Yes. So it's not that expensive. I don't know what it's called in every state, but in the state of Texas, it's the commissioner's office. And they're usually so friendly. So if you have questions, they are so friendly and helpful. Every year I call them right when I'm going in to submit my tax stuff. And I'm like, I don't remember how to do this. You're talking foreign to me. I just call them and I'm just like, help me walk me through this so I'm not clicking things wrong. And they're very, very helpful. Very helpful. So, yes. And if you guys don't have an accountant, get one. They're your best friend. They can help you with tax write-offs, you know, save all your receipts, all of that jazz. They're going to be your best friends with your business. Good to have. And you can write off their fees too, because they are a business expense. I think I saw somebody have a question earlier and I just forgot to read it. How do you, Heart-Centered Soul, how do you handle requests for style of running that you don't do? Personally hate doing scan shows. They are too slow and interrupted. if you're not into doing scan shows and somebody asks you to scan, just be like, I have all my items uploaded in my shop. So I would love if you go over to my shop and take a scroll. I have things loaded up in my auction tab as well as my buy it now. If it's in my buy it now, you can buy it right away. If you want to see the item and I have it handy in my bin, then I can, you know, show you, no problem. That's what I would do. But if you're not into scan shows, then just don't do them. Typically I do, you know, shows where that's my backdrop and I have all my stuff and I'm just like, you guys take a look in my shop. If you want to see something, holler. Otherwise I'm going to be grabbing it and talking about it and selling it. That's what I would do. Petals and Pickets, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. You got any questions tonight for me? Let me know. Gingerly and Terry, Fishman, welcome in. Yes. Did I answer all your questions? Heart-centered soul. I think I don't remember if I answered the one I didn't understand your question. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss that one. I did. Okay. Okay, and I saw another question. Have you done taxes yet? I'm worried for this year and how much you made on whatnot. You started in January, haven't paid anything yet. With your taxes, you need to keep track of all your receipts and your mileage. So that is the biggest things, because whenever, again, get an accountant, guys. I'm not a tax accountant, but the biggest things, cost effective wise, is claiming your mileage. So every time you leave your house to drop boxes off at the post office and driving back, driving to go sourcing and driving back, driving to pick up auction items and back, all of that accounts for your mileage. You want to keep track of that, as well as your receipts for all your purchases, for sourcing, your packaging supplies, business supplies, all of that. Just keep track of that. What do you do with warehouse shippers that takes... They should not be taking 2 weeks to ship on this app, Julaz. So if you bought something from a seller on Whatnot and it has not shipped within 2 business days, so meaning if you bought it on a Friday, it won't ship until Tuesday. Typically, that is with Whatnot guidelines. If you buy it on a Monday, it should be shipped by Wednesday, that kind of thing. But if it hasn't shipped within 2 business days, and you're tracking, you don't have like a tracking number or anything, you can reach out to Whatnot, or you can reach out to the buyer. Personally, if it's me and you're not getting tracking information updated, and my thing at the top, it should say like 2 days ship time. You can see in my reviews I ship fast, and you haven't got any update, you may just message the seller and be like, hey, did you ship this? Is something going on? Maybe something's going on with the shipping and they need to be aware of it. But if you're not getting any answer, I would reach out to Whatnot. You've been using QuickBooks for the past few years, and in your opinion, it's user-friendly, feeds right into TurboTax. Awesome. My first year, I'm using an accountant, so I want to make sure I do it right, and, you know, then I'll go from there. So, yeah, that was my thought. I was just going to use an accountant. Save my butt. You know what I mean? Just because with Whatnot in the mix, it really threw me for a loop of stuff. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't not thinking about things that I needed to report. So that's why I say, get an accountant, see what kind of things that you need to keep track of, and then if you could potentially handle the taxes on your own, then totally handle the taxes on your own, because, hey, that's more money in your pocket, right? Welcome in. Too much junk. I love that name. But it's not junk. It's not junk. It's good stuff. It's kind of like, am I a hoarder or am I a collector? Cute Cammy, welcome in. Mama B. Let's see. QuickBooks is good. Oh, Teresa, did you go sourcing in Georgia? If so, how did it go? So back to taxes. I heard you say you can tax internet and electric, because you're using them for your percentages of what you can write off, because not all of it is going to be for your business unless you have. Is my connection bad, guys? It just popped up saying it was bad. Let me know. You can write it off unless you have just electric and internet for a single location. If you're just operating out of your house, little static from time to time. I'm in the shed. I don't know why it's bad. Since I've upgraded my internet, it makes me mad. Okay, I may look into a different box out here. That's all right. I'll figure it out. Is it still doing it? Is it still lagging? Let me know. Okay, you guys just drop emojis if I need to like go out and come back in. I may try that. I may try that if it keeps doing it. Just drop emojis that I know that it's like bad. Okay. For your taxes, let me go back to that. Internet and electric, you can do a portion of it. You just have to have records of your internet, and then they equate into like how much square footage of your house you're using for your business. There's like math into that. I used to be an accountant for the first 6 months on YouTube. Felt like it wasn't worth it. You have a business degree. Yeah, I did accounting classes before, so I get that. A little static. Okay, you like to do theme shows, but someone told me theme shows don't sell as much as random or this and that shows, my opinion. Petals and Pickets, when I do raid trains, specific themes, I feel like I do really good. Random shows can do well, but you just have to have the audience for that, have everything preloaded. But I kind of feel like people can work with both. But if you have it listed as I'm doing rusty, junky, metal decor, or whatever you're doing, that those kind of people are going to be clicking in your show because they like that idea. If you're a new seller, whenever you post your show, take a picture thumbnail of like some of your favorite items that's going to be in that show if you're doing a theme show, so you get people being like, oh my gosh, what is that, I want that, and they want to click in your show to try to buy it. So definitely do that using your own items that are going to be in your show as your thumbnail photo. It is handy. I'm trying to do live shows in a thrift mall, have horrible service. Do you know of a cell phone booster to carry of some sorts? Ooh. Do they not have Wi-Fi there? Talk About It Boutique. Number 2, you may look into, what is it called? If they have like a window, you can do, my brain's going dead. Brain dead. Come on. Like a hotspot, put it by a window and see if that works. Do you tell your buyers no cancellations? Yes. No cancellations unless it's something on my farm. Yes, Starlink. Starlink is another one that you can do, but I know that is very expensive. So initially you may try a mobile hotspot with a different cell phone carrier. That would be another suggestion that you could try, and use your hotspot from the other cell phone carrier to see if it's better. Or if the business owner has a hotspot and they use a different company, see if that works better to try to help you go live and just do some testing before you actually jump and purchase one of those. That's just another idea. Do I have mason jars of buttons or a large bag of buttons? Harvest Hollow, I just bought some buttons. It's out in my car. I'm not doing a show right now. But if you come back on a future show, I can probably get you buttons. Because I just bought a bunch. Totally do. Where do you tell them in your profile that there's no cancellations? You can put it in your show notes. And then also you can put it in the description of your item. So like where you guys see at the bottom of the screen, it says screenshot and scan. It says links to YouTube. Right under where I put links to YouTube, you can put bid responsibly, no cancellations. And so it is listed there, and you can put it in your show notes. Now, sometimes if something happens on a live, then, you know, like somebody didn't know what something was made out of, or I accidentally break something, that I only have certain limitations that I would cancel. But typically, if somebody sends a cancellation after one of my shows and I know that it was bid up, I'm not canceling it, because I'm losing myself. And all those other customers that bid on it, they lost out as well. And it's just, it doesn't work. I have no cancellations in parentheses on your title, on everything you pin. Yeah. I would put it, you know, like where, not the title of the item, but I put it underneath and I just type it in there, no cancellations. And I got to the point where I got irritated that I put it in my profile. I'm trying to pull it up. I put it in my profile right here because I was getting so irritated with the cancellations. Yesterday you had a buyer's giveaway and the person wasn't a buyer that won. Is that possible? Yes. They can fill out a form, Petals, and they can win it. It is a law because it's considered gambling. So yes. That's why I typically don't do buyer's giveaways. I just do followers giveaways, and if I want to give my buyers a little something extra every once in a while, then I just put it in their box. It's okay though. Last time I did a buyer's giveaway, it did go to somebody that filled out a form, and I still sent it to them, but I was a little bit bummed because I wanted one of my buyers to win it, and I wanted it to be, you know, somebody that bought something. But, you know, it happens, but it's just part of the law, and it's just a risk. I've gotten to the point where I don't label my stuff saying buyers giveaways, and I started testing it. I started getting to the point where I just don't label it. Like I put up if you guys look in my giveaway tab, I have a bunch of giveaways in there, and I know which ones are my buyers giveaways and which ones are my regular giveaways, and I don't tell them that it is a buyer's giveaway until right when I'm running it, and then I pull it. And that seems to work as well, but I try not to label it as buyer's giveaway. So hopefully that slows them down on having time to get into doing the form filling. I don't even know where the heck you guys find the form. I haven't figured that out, because I'm just like, I want to see what people have to go through to find it, but that's what I've done. And typically I have it's marked a little bit differently. I know as a seller that is my buyer's giveaway, but nobody else will know what it is. It's just marked different. So, yeah. Any other questions that I might have missed, you guys just let me know. I have work tomorrow, guys. Oh my gosh, Lily Lane, how are you? I haven't seen you forever. I swear, guys, Whatnot, I love supporting my friends on here, and now I'm getting to where I have so many friends, and I want to watch y'all's shows, and I know I go out there and bookmark them, but Whatnot does not alert me anymore, and it is so freaking annoying. It's so annoying, and so I'm sorry I haven't watched y'all's shows. I feel like I miss everybody's. I try to support everybody. Hi, Steak Addicts. Welcome in. You changed your picture, and Lily changed her picture. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. This is something I talked about earlier, and you guys may not have heard it. I'm going to redo how I type this, but I've been seeing some sellers create a listing that says something like this. Click this, where you click on the alert button right here, and when you want to know when that seller goes live, they just have to put it in their show and pin it to the bottom, and then everybody that clicked that alert button, they will get the notification you know, like something is about to run as an auction, but this will alert your buyers that you're live and to come watch you, because not everybody's getting alerts anymore. So, any idea what show the white bird you were teasing me with will be in? You want me to run it? I can run it for you. I've been using it for decor behind me. I've been setting it on my books. But if you want it, it's like, I think it's cast iron that somebody like dry brushed, but it's cast iron. It's totally up your style. 5 acre. I can run it. How do I do that again? Yes, I can run it. It's like a pound though. It's heavy. Are you okay with like $5 for it plus $9.21? Or do you want to wait for a show so you can maximize your shipping? You let me know. You're okay with that. Okay. I have a bunch of green. Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so what I did, I will run it in just a second. I went in and I just created a listing. You can add whatever photo and you just label it, alert me when I go live or whatever you want to type in there. And you just create a listing like normal. And all you have to do is pin it. But as the buyer or, you know, somebody that wants to watch your show, they just have to click that a little alert button. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Go back. Okay, see how I clicked it and it's dark and it has number 1? So like when if you go in there and click on it in my auction tab, you guys go click on it real quick. Go click on that. And it just says Gems and Joy. Everybody go click on it. Let's see if we can get like 3 alerts or whatever. You guys just go click on it because I'm going to repin it and I want you to see that you should get the little alert. Yes, the little bitty bell. The little bell that's right next to it. It will look a little bit different on your end, but just click the little bell. That means it's an alert. Like you want to be alerted when something is about to be sold or ran, but I'm going to use it as an alert for when I go live. I'm going to pin that into my shows. So if you click it as alert and I pin it to the bottom of the screen, you should get an alert that pops up that says alert to when I go live. I'm probably going to say Gems and Joy is now live. That's probably what I will label it as or something, so you know that, hey, I'm live. Yeah, so that is handy because I don't get alerts anymore, guys. So I think I'm going to start doing that, and I think that's going to be handy to do. Okay. I'm just pulling my random over so I can run that item really quick for you. I legit had this forever and I just use it as decor. I use this little bird as decor. It's just so cute. I love it. And it's metal, so, you know, I can drop it and it won't break. You're keeping it. It's cute. I don't even remember where the heck I bought it. I'll just tell you that. I have no idea. Okay. And this it's going to be on sudden death. It's sudden death. That's all good. He's so cute. But it's heavy. I like it. It's your style. I know you like rusty, crusty metal stuff, so that's perfect for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I just grabbed it just to hold stuff up to show how to, I don't know, get on stuff, box stuff up. Okay, awesome. I will get that shipped out tomorrow. That'll be an easy shipper. I just got to find a tiny little box for him. I just got rid of a lot of my boxes. But your Verizon tip is a good idea. Do you go in and ask them for boxes at Verizon, or do you go like behind their building? Because now I'm like, I need to go there for small boxes. Oh gosh, you guys, I got 12 alerts. You guys see that? It says 12 alerts. I'm gonna tag it again. Did you guys just get an alert saying Amanda or Gems and Joy just saved your listing or started your listing or whatever that says? You guys should get like little alerts like that. I think it's really cool. I've seen people when they're doing live thrifting, they do that to certain categories in the store, and they do an alert for like they're about to show purses or they're about to show knickknacks, and they get a set up alerts like this, and they pin it to the bottom of the screen so the customers know they can click that alert to get told when they're live in that area so they can shop with them. Because some people only want to see certain things. Dollar Tree will give you free boxes if you call them ahead of time. Oh, that's good to know. I'm always looking for small boxes. That seems to be the ones that I always need, like the tiny boxes for like the little minis that I sell and stuff like that. And I need smaller than 6x6x6 because it's crazy to ship a big box on something small. You know what I mean? It's silly, but silly. Let's see. Trying to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Oh, Brittany, I didn't see you come in. Hello. Welcome in. Connect with your local gun store. Their ammo. Jocelyn, I don't know if you can ship those through the post office. Can you? Or do you have to wrap them so they don't think you're shipping ammo? Because I thought ammo boxes have labels on them and then they think, oh, cover the triangle. Ammo store. You got an alert. That's cool. So much for your tips. Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys make sure you check out my QR code. So if you need any more tips and tricks, you guys can find my YouTube. All of these are going to be casting over to my YouTube. I try to make sure of that. So all of that can be rewatched, and then all my links for the Facebook group and my Amazon. So that's all out there. So if you guys ever need it, that's a good thing to do. It's actually a diamond thing, but you use them all the time. Well, how about you ship me some of those, Jocelyn? I'm kidding. Well, that's a good idea. There is a local store in the town over from me. I just never really thought about going to a gun shop for little boxes, but I may ask. That's a good idea. They probably want to get rid of them too, right? So that's a good idea. It's kind of like alcohol boxes. You can't use those. So I just don't go there. I'm like, I don't need alcohol box. Okay, do we have any other questions, guys? I've been live for, I don't know, 2-ish hours. So you guys let me know if you have any other questions. I'm going to see who else is on so I know who we can raid. Yeah, those are a definite no. Unless you flip them inside out, upside down. Hey, when's your husband going live? Is that later or next month? Because I totally want to watch that live. I asked Patrick if he would go live, and he's like, nope. And I told him how your husband went live and was on camera, and I was giggling so much, Jocelyn. I was like, Patrick and him, they would just make everybody laugh because he was saying so much that Patrick would do to me. Like, why do you have this? You need to sell it for $3. So I giggled so much. Any local hardware stores, check to see if they have boxes. Nail such things would be a good place. Oh yeah, like Ace Hardware or Lowe's and stuff like that. Lowe's crushes their boxes. I used to work there. They always crush their boxes. Evil people. Gotta catch them beforehand. Okay, do you guys want to go into Vintage Sunflower? She's doing dollar starts. Yes, the Husbands of Whatnot raid train. I think she was talking about 10-4, so that's a different one. But I think that's the same train. I don't know how often it is, but it's supposed to be hilarious. I missed the last one, I think, because I was on a show. I missed some show I wanted to watch. Do you guys want to go look at like fancy brass stuff, or you want to go Vintage Sunflower where she has like kitschy and she's doing dollar starts? You guys let me know. That's who I think I'm gonna raid into. Oh, there's 2 different trains. But you were on 10-4. Gotcha. Vintage Sunflower. I love Nat. I do. She has less people in her show, but I love her. And can't go wrong with dollar starts, guys. Okay, so let's go right into her. I clicked on her show like I was gonna click to raid. Bobby Dazzle asked me about your husband. He said, he'll know. That's hilarious. Patrick said, heck no, he's just my boyfriend. But I'm like, you would be freaking hilarious. You'd be like, you need to sell this and that. Everything's going to be $1, guys. Dollar, dollar, dollar. Oh my God, you're watching me. Stop watching me. I'm talking about you. You're not supposed to be watching. I really want you to go live. I think it'd be hilarious. It's so funny. Okay. Let's see. It wants me to raid Griff's Thrifts, but let's go into the Vintage Sunflower, guys. I appreciate everybody joining. I will see y'all next time. Y'all take care. You should do it. Yeah, see, Lily says you should do it, Patrick. I will see y'all later. Y'all have a good week.